About Time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to every single one of y'all who has been taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and leave the comments. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. If you have not subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Encourage others to subscribe to Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Don't forget to hit excuse me, the notification button to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Shout out to my guy Rebel Life Boxing. Please support his channel. Please support Mark Nash Boxing, Nate's Boxing Nation, Fanon Boxing International Channel, Hustlers Home Boxing, YSL Boxing, Lee Natural Way YouTube channel. So you know, support them. Please support them and subscribe to their channel. Show them some love too. I rock with all those channels and those people. Alright, so Devin Haney and George Kambosos. It's fight week. Fight is coming up June 5th in Melbourne, Australia. I believe they're fighting there. So Devin Haney 27-0, 15 KOs. Kambosos is 20-0 with 10 knockouts. Now, I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Some of y'all might not like what I'm gonna say. Some of y'all may disagree with what I'm gonna say. But what I'm saying, if y'all been following this whole thing going back to before he fought Teofimo Lopez, then y'all know that what I'm saying is right. George Kambosos has become a hypocritical, psycho-babbling, obsessed with his self character. Everything that he's doing, he's acting. And I'm not saying that, you know, Devin Haney said it, but I've seen this already. Now, he was furious at Teofimo Lopez when Teofimo Lopez was doing all the bragging with the belts and all that stuff. Yeah, I got, you know, calling himself undisputed when he's really unified. And even in Australia, they won't call him the unified. They just say all those belts. But we know he's only the unified champion. And the belt that he does not have is Devin Haney's WBC lightweight title. And of course, the belts that Devin Haney don't have is WBO, WBA, IBF, and the Ring magazine. He don't care about that franchise WBC title that Kambosos is carrying around, trying to say that he's an undisputed champion. Because in his mind, he is. But George Kambosos has become a prima donna. He's become extremely arrogant. Extremely arrogant. And I said this before and I'm going to say it again. He has become, and I don't care who disagrees. And if you disagree, drop the comments in the comment section below and let me know why you disagree. But and if you've been following this thing, like I said, you'll see that what I'm getting ready to say is the truth. He has become everything that he despised Teofimo Lopez for becoming. He said Teofimo Lopez was ungrateful. He said he was spoiled. He said, you know, he didn't appreciate those belts. He didn't respect the position he was in. He didn't respect the titles and all that kind of stuff. You know, he said all kind of things about Teofimo Lopez. And he's turned into the exact same thing he despised Teofimo Lopez for being. You can see it now. Every time he get in front of the camera, it's an act. Ain't talking about none of this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for him. Like, I'm the man. Now, I'm not saying that him having those belts, but a lot of times the belts and the accolades don't really mean nothing. That stuff can be all in your head, what you think about yourself. You saw what happened to Teofimo Lopez, and he told Teofimo Lopez, all those belts is going to be your destruction. They're going to be, you know, basically the death of you. Not in the literal sense, but y'all get what I'm saying. Same thing with him. And then with all of the other, you know, the psychological games they trying to play with not letting Devin Haney's father come into the country from something that happened 30 years ago or whatever the case is, that he did serve this time for or whatever. Now they saying he can't come into the country because of that. What do y'all think he gonna do? Y'all think Bill Haney gonna, you know, come to y'all country and he trying to what? Make a connect for something with somebody? No, this is business. He over there for boxing for his son. Y'all wouldn't be telling Jim Kambosos that if, you know, if the roles were reversed. I know y'all wouldn't. I don't care what the laws or, you know, or you know, guidelines that they have set up, you know, in Australia. And who knows? I mean, if y'all know about it, hey, listen, feel free, drop the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button. But I think that is I just think they trying to get into Devin Haney's head, try to throw him off his game. You know, try to make him, you know, lose focus of his game plan. So that he'd go in there with all of this stuff on his mind and just abandon his game plan and just, you know, and he lose the fight and lose his belt. A lot of people already saying the fix is already in. A lot of people saying it. But my thing is, now listen, I don't take nothing away from George Kambosos. George Kambosos is a good boxer. He's fast, he's slick, sharp, and he's accurate. He has speed and he's accurate. He is probably one of the most accurate punchers in the sport today. I don't take nothing away from George. But I feel like that he has abandoned the mindset that got him to where he was. Now, because he feel like, well, now I'm in the position. How you going to despise somebody else? And now, listen, remember, the only reason that George Kambosos even got put in that position was because Teofimo Lopez was avoiding Devin Haney. And he thought that because Kambosos, you know, was relatively unknown in the States, you heard of him, but really didn't know too much about him. He fought most of his fights, you know, in his country or other places, but not over here. He was like, yeah. And I know his team, his father, and them was like, nah, Kambosos would be an easier fight. Take that fight. Because Tio got his position because Loma was avoiding Devin Haney. And they told him, look at, nah, this guy relatively inexperienced. He got 15 fights. Nah, let's take that one. So all of this stuff goes back to one thing, everybody avoiding Devin Haney. And George Kambosos tried to do the same thing. That's why I don't understand at the press, the unofficial press conference, the Top Ranks Real Time show, George Kambosos said, you know, oh yeah, you know, he was forced into this fight. He was forced into this fight. He was forced into the fight. You was trying to avoid the fight. You were forced into the fight, Georgie boy. You were forced into the fight, not Devin. You were, and I said this when he beat Teofimo. I said they were trying to swing that fight in Loma's direction. I said that that's what they were trying to do. Everybody talking about some, you know, Loma is a better fight anyway, this, that, and the third, and all that. And I know some of y'all people gonna come and leave them comments talking about Loma, it is a better fight with Loma and Kambosos, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to hear all that. All of this stuff to avoid Devin Haney. You got 3 fighters that tried to avoid Devin Haney, and 1 got forced into fighting them, and that's Kambosos. So everything still came back to those belts. So you can call that destiny. This is Devin's time. I got Devin Haney winning the fight. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And see, this is why George is, you know, talking about Devin is a rat, or he got a rat in his camp and saying all this stuff. And even his father said it. Let's see how Devin handles George trying to get into his head. And this. It's the same stuff Muhammad Ali did, Floyd Mayweather, other fighters. You know, they all just try to win the fight outside the ring first by getting in your head, try to throw you off your game plan. So he want Devin Haney to be so angry that when Devin step into the ring, then all of a sudden he gonna abandon his game plan and just, you know, do anything, and George just gonna be able to counter him, you know what I mean, and dictate the pace of the fight. But Devin Haney has a different type of determination in his eyes. Every time he look at George, you could tell he want to smash him. And that's why he just like fight night. But now I feel like unless he knocks George down, listen, probably if he do knock George down, the referee might say it wasn't a knockdown. Probably gonna say it was a slip. If he catch George in the ropes, hold him up, he'll probably say, you know, oh, it wasn't a knockdown. But if it's reversed and Devin Haney slip, they might count it as a knockdown. Or if George catch Devin with a good shot, Devin, you know, fall into the ropes, hold him up, guarantee you the ref gonna be in front of him looking at the official count outside the ref and pick up from there. 4, 5, 6. This is why a lot of people are saying they feel like the fix is already in. If Devin Haney drops him clean once or twice in a fight, and the fight goes the distance, which it probably will, but Devin Haney is going to need a lot in his favor, I feel like, in order to beat George Kambosos. And I'm pretty sure there's a rematch clause in the contract. And the one thing George don't want is for Devin to get in that position. See, all the stuff, when T.O. had the belts, all T.O. had to do was just take a few fights, some gimmies, go ahead and make some money, market yourself a little more. Instead, you thought that you was sitting on top of the boxing world with those belts, and that you was on the level of Canelo and Floyd and these other people. You can just call your shots and do whatever you want. You can tell George think he's the same way. I seen stuff this dude, you know, in the gym, in the ring, getting interviewed, getting haircuts and, you know, snips and all this old crazy nonsense. Like, dude done turned into an old sissy, a prima donna type dude. Boy, done lost it. Like, he's getting carried away with the status of having those belts. Maybe those belts are a curse. But I do know one thing. I said it once, I'll say it again. Everything comes back to Devin Haney. Loma tried to avoid him. T.O. tried to avoid him. And George tried to avoid him. George was the only one who was forced into the fight. Devin wasn't forced into this fight. And you got to remember, before Devin Haney fought Jojo Diaz. When he fought Jojo Diaz, what did Kambosos say to him? Oh yeah, we're gonna make the fight happen, Mike. Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Yeah. Well, you know, when he finishes business with Jojo, if he beat Jojo, yeah, we're gonna make the fight happen. Definitely, let's make it happen. You got all this video footage of you face to face with Devin talking about y'all gonna make the fight happen. Now you try to go to Lomachenko, and then everybody talking about Devin priced himself out. How? Y'all never heard Devin Haney crying or complaining about no money. Ever. That's why Devin Haney said, look, if fighters really want to make these big fights happen, they can do it. Forget all that A side, B side, all that other. You take all the accolades, take all that stuff out. If they really want to make the fight happen, they can make it happen. And they gave Loma a deal, and they were going to make the fight with Loma. But Loma, you know, based on everything that was going on in the Ukraine, said, no, I'm going over here and I'm going to ride this out with my people. I respect Loma for that. Whatever's going on in his country, he going over there and he going to ride it out with his folk. So I respect that. But now and then after that, they still tried to hold out. How was Devin forced into the fight when y'all held out, signing the contract at the last minute? When Devin said, whatever Loma's deal was, just give me that same deal. Probably was a rematch in there and all that kind of stuff. You know, Loma probably had some perks in there, but they didn't want Devin to have those same perks. So we got to take something. We got to adjust the deal we gave to Loma. We're going to get the same deal to Devin. We got to adjust some things. And that was all because they wanted Devin to get frustrated and say, you know what, F it, man. I ain't, you know, They don't really want to fight, but he didn't. So George Kambosos was forced into this fight. He didn't want this fight. You haven't heard about Devin running from a, ducking. You didn't hear about that. So now it's fight week, and we're going to see what's going to happen come fight night. Now, y'all let me know. Drop y'all comments in the comment section below. Who y'all got winning? I got Devin Haney winning. Now, remember, I'm telling you, listen. Devin Haney is fast. Devin Haney he's very technically sound. He's not flat-footed, got good ring. See, this is the one thing. This is what's going to make this fight a chess match. Because neither one of these guys are flat-footed. Kambosos is not flat-footed. He can move. He got speed. He got angles. Devin Haney has the same thing. This is going to be a chess match. And I wouldn't be surprised if this fight end up being, like a who can counter who first. This is going to be a defensive fight. Devin is going to try to make it, he's going to try to step to him. But he got to be smart about it. Because Kambosos, again, is very fast. He's very accurate. And he's a good counter puncher. I give Kambosos that. He's a good counter puncher. But George got to be smart too. Because I think Devin is actually stronger. I think he's a little stronger than George. I think he has a little more power. Devin got 15 knockouts. George got 10. But I still feel like Devin, in the power department, I feel like Devin has the advantage. And if Devin if he counters and catches George clean, who knows? That could be the fight. But we know what Kambosos' face looked like when he in a rumble. You see what his face looked like, even though he beat Tio, but you see what his face looked like. Tio's face wasn't all that nice either. But, like I said, we know. One thing is for sure, George is coming to fight, and so was Devin. And Devin got a different type of determination because he had 3 people trying to avoid him. And that's why he's like, man, when I get my opportunity, So this is, in my opinion, this is going to be a chess match. Offensive at times, but it's probably going to be more than likely they're going to be looking to see who counter first. They're going to, they're going to wait to see who make the first mistake. I'm not saying that George can't catch Devin. He can catch him. But Jorge Linares caught Devin too, and Devin still stayed on his feet. He didn't go down. Now, I guarantee you, if Linares had caught Kambosos with that same shot he hit Devin with, he probably would have went down. Because remember, Linares he knocked Loma down with his straight right. Boom! Sat Loma down. He got back up. And we know Kambosos is not stronger than Linares. And Linares may be a little stronger than Devin. He's a hard puncher. Hard puncher. But I think Devin hits harder than George. But I think that George makes up for that with his speed and his accuracy. So the shock of the punch can feel a lot harder than probably what it really is. I don't take nothing away from George. He's just become, a hypocrite. Now all of the stuff he despised Teofimo Lopez for being, he has become. And I'm just saying, those things could be his downfall and could ultimately lead to his undoing with him losing the belts to Devin Haney. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification button. And don't forget to encourage others to subscribe to Rashawn's About Time Boxing. That's all I got for now. To the next one.